checking in? You're looking to make a reservation? Perfect. Have you stayed in Blossom Birch before? First timer? Well, you're in luck, as we are now in peak blossom season. You certainly picked the perfect time of year to come visit. Do you know anything about the area? A little. Well, this is a beautiful nature prioritizing location, which means all amenities and tree houses are made with the woods in mind and cause minimal disruption to the local wildlife. Well, why don't I show you the 3 tree houses we have available? How many nights were you looking to book for? 3 nights. Perfect. It's a good amount of time to get around the area, do all the activities, but not feel too stressed or rushed. Before we begin, can I offer you any refreshments? You'll find a coffee bar over in the corner with a variety of teas and juices, but I highly recommend the iced caramel macchiato. Help yourself to any of the pastries that catch your eye. Are you ready to begin? Perfect. Up first, we have Moss Drop Hideaway. As you can see, it's deep in the mossy woodlands, giving you seclusion, but with easy access to any amenities you may desire. Here in the spring wood, where the dew sparkles in the morning sun and birdsong sweetens your morning brew. Amenities include afternoon tea essentials, including fresh scones, sandwiches, mini quiche, and blueberry milk tea. Artist studio equipped with watercolor, gouache, and acrylic paint. Clawfoot tub, essential oils of the forest, luxury bath bombs and lotions. Animal feed to help entice the friendly wildlife. Stargazing window over bed. Artisan coffee station. Reach around balcony. A forest view swing. Skylights for maximum natural lighting. Log burner. And cozy socks knitted by a local granny named Mabel. What do you think? Does the Moss Drop Hideaway appeal to you? Do you want to take another look? It is very whimsical, I agree. You don't have to make a decision just yet. Let's take a look at all 3, and then maybe you'll have a better idea what you're looking for. Next we have Cherry Pip Nook. This is perfect if you come especially to see our beautiful blossoms, as you will have the opportunity to stay amongst them. Take a closer look here at the treehouse in question, and you'll see it is indeed perched in a large blossom tree. It says, "Immerse yourself in spring as you rest in the treetops, nestled amongst the blossoms." Amenities include cocktail essentials, including locally made blossom gin and cherry liqueur. Sushi making station, fully stocked with wild-caught salmon and locally grown vegetables. Fresh bread, butter, and jam delivered each morning. A movie projector with vast library of period dramas and fantasy movies. Attic located bedroom, balcony hot tub, and handmade cotton pajamas and slippers. Would you like to take a closer look at the treehouse again, just to jog your memory? It is difficult to see on this display because of the pale colors, but the blossom tree itself is white blossoms. It's very fairy tale inspired. Glad you appreciate that. Now, our final treehouse is perhaps the most unusual, especially if this is your first time in Blossom Birch, but it's my favorite. It's called the Forest Secret. As you can see, again, very mossy, with a slightly different layout, and the woodland around it is much older and mysterious, let's say. It's gorgeous, isn't it? It says, "Step into a hidden world of moss, magic, and mystery, where the world of men fades and the things of the old world frolic." Isn't that exquisite already? Amenities include secret garden balcony, which, if you notice on the picture, the balcony itself is totally separate from the treehouse and can only be accessed by a hidden door, which, if you stay here, you will have to find, but I can give you a clue. It's behind the bookcase. Stone bake oven, excellent if you enjoy making your own pizzas. Larder stocked with local honey, eggs, bread, and blossom tea. Unearthly hikes and views. A library with books on local folklore, myths, and legends. A rainfall shower with open forest view. And a 4-poster oak bed with silk curtains. And finally, the opportunity to leave the world of humanity behind. Would you like to take a closer look again? You see what I mean about the secret door on the balcony? It makes it feel like a secret garden within a secret Since you've briefly seen all three options, do you have a favorite in mind? That's alright if you don't. Just mull over it as you sip your coffee. How is it, by the way? It's a special blend of coffee. Just so you know, it'll perk you up, but mellow out well before bedtime to ensure it doesn't interfere with your rest. It's perfect for people like myself who enjoy savoring the deep, rich aroma, but may struggle with insomnia. I'm so glad you enjoy it. Why don't we go over the local map so you can familiarize yourself with the layout of Blossom Birch, and it'll give you a good idea of what activities and amenities we can offer you. You've come in peak season, which means that Springfest is in full swing. You'll see what I mean, but it's essentially a celebration of the season where local bakers, chefs, and artists of all description come together to distribute their wares. I'm sure you'll love it. Why don't you come a little closer and we can go over the map together on my desk, since there's so much to get through. Perfect. Now, this is an excellent map, as it sort of shows our layout, and where we begin is right here at the Welcome Cottage, which is the check-in and check-out location for all of Blossom Birch. You may have noticed as you came in, lots of tall trees in sort of a ring. It makes it difficult to see the old town area if you didn't know it was there, as it is surrounded by our treetop trail. So, if you haven't been to the old town already, I would strongly recommend the downtown area as your first point of contact. This is our historical hub. Most of the buildings are at least 400 years old, and it really shows in the gorgeous, intricate architecture. You'll notice thatch roofing on most of the buildings, which is quite unusual to still see, and because it is a protected site, the original roofing has been maintained. The downtown area is perfect if you're looking for some shopping, tattoos, delicious produce, everything you're looking for you'll find here. The locals are incredibly friendly, so don't be shy. They're usually more than happy to show you around. Some may even invite you inside their homes to take a look at the historic preserved furniture as well. Now, moving up, of course, to the aforementioned treetop trail, there is no extra cost if you wish to use this. Simply meet one of our members of staff down in this area, and we will walk you through the proper safety procedures for putting on and using your harness and clipping on and off at each connection point. This is not advisable if you have mobility issues, actually pregnant, but for those of you that are seeking a thrill, this is ideal. It gives you wonderful views of the valley as well. So this is where we are just now. Just behind us you'll find the locally cared for vegetable garden, always rich with seasonal goods. At the moment we have asparagus, rhubarb, cauliflower, purple sprouting broccoli, rainbow heritage carrots, onions, sweet peas, and radishes in gorgeous candy colors. Just behind it, you'll find this vegetable cart, which is usually manned by Boris, the local tomcat, who will no doubt greet you at some point, even if you don't buy any vegetables. There are also flowers, both wild and farmed, available for purchase. Or if you'd rather pick your own, there is plenty just here in this thicket. Coming over to the right here, we have this playground area, which is very welcoming to our adult guests as well. You'll find here this hoop swing, beautifully woven of wicker, strong but naturally gorgeous, with flowers woven on either side, a merry-go-round or roundabout, depending who you ask, a wooden climbing frame with a slide, some classic wooden swings. You'll notice a lot of natural materials throughout at Blossom Birch as we try to avoid any unnaturals as plastic and whatnot, where we can. A wooden mini treehouse, again with a sort of climbing area and a curling rainbow slide. Over here you'll see a swinging bench. They're not all marked on the map, but you will find these all over. And please take a moment when you do to sit and savor the gorgeous woodland view. We move up a little. You come to this outdoor gym area, which is perfect if you'd like to work out with unbeatable views or just burn off some of the calories you may accrue from the delicious food options here. Next you'll see the toadstool. This is our breakfast location, specializing in breakfast skillets, which I cannot recommend enough. The seating style is sort of communal. You can see these little wooden toadstools which you can sit on quite comfortably, with a large stump table. It's quite good at encouraging our guests to socialize and feel a sense of community at their stay here in Blossom Birch. The toadstool building itself is styled very like a treehouse, with mushrooms and moss growing up the walls and a mossy green roof. I'll be happy to show you a sample of their menu later if you're interested. Next we come up to Springfest at the center of the map. This will continue until the last day of May, but it is certainly in its peak in March and April due to the beautiful blossoms surrounding it. You'll notice lots of plants, baked goods, outdoor themed items for sale, and these large tents. This one here with a chimney is for our chef workshop. We have a wonderful lineup this year of exquisite culinary wizards, each showcasing how to utilize seasonal produce from your garden. This purple tint is for storytelling and is wonderful if you'd like to familiarize yourself with the folklore and legends of the area. Over here, you'll see a carousel. There may be other rides as well. They vary week by week, but there's usually at least a few. And one of our favorite attractions, the hot air balloon race. Don't worry, you're not expected to pilot them yourself, but feel free to join in on the fun. Aside from the sense of competition, there is also the exquisite views that are best experienced from above. Coming over here, you'll see the cake cottage, where you get the opportunity to learn how to bake and decorate exquisite looking cakes. Now and then we also hold baking competitions for those who feel up to the task. The seating for displaying what is made each day is outdoors at these long wooden benches, and we host afternoon teas each noon, where there is unlimited tea served, where you can sample each delicious, delectable item baked that day. Coming up to the Sparrow's Nest, this is the venue for our lunch and dinner menus. There is, of course, the option to cook in your treehouse, but on the nights where you'd rather not and simply wish to relax, this is a wonderful option. Again, I'll take you through the menu for this as well. The style is sort of casual fine dining, utilizing a lot of our local produce here. Now the first treehouse on the map is Moss Drop Hideaway. You remember this richly green treehouse, the reach around balcony, the swing, and the mossy roof. It's the first treehouse that you'll come across on your path, so it's ideal for those who don't wish to walk quite as far. Coming along to the middle, we have Cherry Pip Nook. You'll see here the brilliance of the blossom tree that it sits in, but it's also surrounded by smaller blossom trees all around. So if you love pink, this is a must. Coming over here, this area isn't labeled on the map as it's technically abandoned, but still beautiful to explore. There was at one point a farm here, with all that's left of it is this solitary windmill. You'll notice farm animals here and there. These once lived on the farm, but are now free roaming and looked after by the locals. You'll find goats, sheep, chickens, and ducks, all of which are very friendly and considered pets. My favorite is this one little lamb called Malcolm. You'll know him by his tiny little budding horns. Feel free to take some feed and make some friends. You can also swim in the duck pond if you wish to. They have young ducklings at the moment, so may not be quite as friendly as usual. The sheep are also lambing, and there are very young kids Now we come to the last treehouse, known as the forest secret. You can't, in fact, access this treehouse by following the same path. You must instead go up this side, and the only entrance into the wood is through the fairy falls here. Now, these waters are long believed to have all sorts of magical properties and benefits if you're brave enough to swim in them. They are clean, so you don't need to worry about that. They flow down these mossy rocks, filtering all sorts and imbuing the water with minerals. It is quite delicious and is said to be naturally sweet. If you head through the entrance here, it will be quite dark for a few hundred feet, so watch your footing, but you will then break through some overgrown bushes and come to the forest secret in about 5 to 10 minutes walk. It is such an exquisite experience for those with an open mind. I would only warn you to be careful making your way home late. I would advise generally not to head here after dark. It's best to be tucked in, safe and sound. But we understand things happen, and with all the wonderful festivities going on around Blossom Birch, I won't blame you for heading back late. We can provide lanterns, and so long as you keep hold of your map, you shouldn't stray too far from the path. Now, this is the map as a whole, which I will print out a copy for you, and please do keep it on you at all times. Perfect. Now, let's take a look at some menus. First, we have the toadstool breakfast skillet menu. As you can see, there is only 4 options, but each is so delicious. It's more than enough, we find. And since you're staying 3 nights, have the opportunity to try most of them. Or if you're especially hungry, perhaps all 4. First we have Hobbit's Choice, fluffy pancakes drizzled with honey, rosemary sausage, campfire beans, crispy potatoes, and buttered toast. Taste of Spring, brioche French toast drizzled with honey nectar, a blueberry lemon compote, and vanilla bean yogurt. Feast of the Fae, button mushrooms filled with sage and brown butter stuffing, poached quail's eggs, pan-fried cherry tomatoes, and a wild garlic chimichurri. And finally, the Blossom Birch Special, which consists of spring onion and cheddar hash browns, wild mushrooms fried in butter, wild grouse sausage, and brandy glazed bacon. Drinks include creme brulee iced latte, blossom honey mocha, lavender matcha latte, and goat's milk cappuccino. For tea, we have blueberry milk tea, wild raspberry and nettle tea, blossom and cherry tea, and and chai infused with vanilla. You have a few juice options as well: apple and wild berry juice, blueberry lemonade, and elderflower and clementine juice. The toadstool operates as an all-day breakfast sort of menu and opens at 7 a.m. and closes at 2 p.m. So you don't need to rush to leave your cozy bed to make it for this menu, which is perfect as we want to make sure all our guests get enough rest. And finally, Sparrow's Nest menu. As you can see, it's served from 12 p.m. till midnight. There's 3 options of each course. For the starters, we have prosciutto wrapped asparagus drizzled with a garden herb chimichurri and cracked pink pepper. Pea shoot, radish and pickled pak choy salad sprinkled with goat's cheese and lime vinaigrette. And finally, refreshing Bloody Mary prawn cocktail served with baby gem lettuce and wild garlic crostini. My favorite is always the asparagus. The chimichurri is the perfect blend of spicy and citrusy. For mains, we have rack of lamb in a pistachio crust served with fondant potatoes, honey glazed heritage carrots, and red wine reduction. Spring vegetable and pesto risotto with parmesan tuile and shaved white truffle. And finally, wild salmon fillet served atop lemon rice, afloat in a pond of white wine sauce with slow roast cherry tomatoes and shavings of radish. The radish give this delicious little crunch without adding too much bitterness. For desserts, we have crushed meringue, raspberries, blueberries, and a gooseberry sorbet with lashings of chantilly cream, chocolate log cake with pistachio moss and an orange blossom ice cream. And finally, for those that don't have a sweet tooth, local cheeses, wild berry preserve, rustic oat cakes, and a selection of seasonal fruits and spiced nuts. All exquisite options and only a stone's throw away from all 3 tree houses. Have you decided which tree house you'd like to stay in? Oh, you have. Perfect. That's everything I have to show you. Let me know if you have any questions, but I think you're good to go. I'll print out a map copy for you to have on hand. Please do take good care of it, as it may be difficult to navigate without one, especially if you wander out into the woods. I would advise you stick to the paths, especially once the sun sets. Be aware any lights seen out in the trees are unlikely to be street lights. I would avoid them. Beautiful as they may be, they tend to cause you to get more lost. Don't worry, you're perfectly safe. We have staff all over the grounds who are very knowledgeable about the local wildlife. So you're never more than a few steps away from help, should you require it. Well, why don't you make your way round treehouse, you don't need to worry about carrying any of your luggage. Simply leave that here, and I will have it delivered to you by sunset. There is a key to the treehouse, which you will find embedded in a mossy rock on the right-hand side of the door. Simply lift the rock, and you will notice a key pressed into a key-shaped hole. That was my idea. We'll have a wonderful time. Don't worry about booking a table if you plan to have dinner at the Sparrow's Nest tonight. We always leave room for walk-ins. Of course. We'll have the most magical stay here at Blossom Birch,